Now on to the 1820 census. Now, as you can tell, the 1820 census has quite a few more extra fields than the 1790 or the 1800 or the 1810. Although it looks like there's just a gob of stuff, really there's not. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit and just kind of look at what's on here so that you can see it. Okay, basically the columns are pretty much the same. Okay, so it's 0 to 10, 10 to 16, 16 to, this is a new column, okay, 16 to 18. Then there's 16 to 26, 26 to 45, and 45 and over. That's the males. Now the females are similar except for they don't have this column. They only care about the 16 to 18 men. Not sure why that is, but the women only have 0 to 10, 10 to 16, and then it goes 16 to 26, 26 to 45, and 45 and over. Okay? Now, a couple other columns. Foreigners not naturalized. Number of persons engaged in agriculture. Number of persons engaged in commerce, and number of persons engaged in manufacturing. So yeah, that's there's a few extra hundred columns there for that, and then you do the same thing for the slaves. Okay. There is columns for slaves, male and female, and then there's a column here for free colored people. So the 1820 kind of got a little extra diverse. Okay, so keeping all that in mind, and we may have to come back and reference this as we go along, but basically what we're looking for is just these columns here. Okay, for what we want, it doesn't really matter about all this other stuff. Okay, so if we look at the 1820 census, okay, you will notice that all these columns in here are all blank. All blank, nothing there. Okay, so we're not going to worry about those. But here is Caleb Tracy, who we followed the last time, okay, and he's got quite a few more children. So what we have to do, let's go to Caleb. Okay, so we got the 1810. Now what I'm going to do, since I already have part of the I got the 1830 in here, I'm going to copy that and change it. Okay, so I copy the 30. And I put that in there and I call it the 1820. Again, this is for New York, Jefferson, Ellisburg. So we're in New York, Jefferson, Ellisburg. Page number 10. Okay. Now we got to go make sure these columns are right. Let's go to the 1820 census. All right, so we got 45 and over. So this one, we would say over 45. Okay? And then this one would be females. Over 45. Okay? Then it's 26 to 45. 26 to 45. 26 to 45. Okay. Now this is where it's going to get different, okay? Oh no, this is the next one. Okay, 16. Let's see, what does this say? Free white males of 16 and under 26, including heads of family. Free white males between 16 and 18. So this is kind of an overlap. 16 to 26, 16 to 18. So it's just kind of separating out of here these type here. Okay? So it's 16 to 25. And oops. 16 to 25. And let's see, how many more columns do we have? We have 3 more columns. Okay, so what we're going to have to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 males, 16 to 18. I'm just doing all kinds of bad here. Okay. We'll figure out who's what here in a minute. Okay, and then we've got 10 to 16 and 0 to 10. We got 10 to 16 and 0 to 10. Okay, and we got the same thing over here. We've already got this one. What do I? Oh, yeah. Okay, I did this wrong, so I got to take this one out. There. 10 to 15 and 0 to 10. Okay? So let's see, that's 6 columns, right? All right, let's go make sure we got all of that from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is our breakdown. This should be 15. Okay. And this should be 44. Okay. Guess everything looks good? All right. So now we do the counting. Let's go look at the census. Okay, so here's Caleb here. So he's got 2 boys in the first 2 columns. So we go back here and we say he's got 2 here and he's got 2 here. Okay, then we go back to the census. Caleb trace. So then we skip 2 and 1 and skip 1. Okay, so these are the 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is him, Caleb. And then he's got 4 boys in this age group. Okay. So he's got 0 there, and he's got 0 here. Okay? All right, let's go look at the women. All right, so there's 2 in the first 2, skip 1, and then there's 2, and then you skip 1. Okay? These here, remember, these are like the agriculture, commerce, and manufacturing or something like that. All right? Okay, so it's 2, 2, space 2. Okay, so that's our final count. All right, so there's 2 people here that are over 26. I don't know that that's going to make sense. Okay, but we'll look at it. All right. All right, so that's kind of what it is. Once again, we don't have to keep this column since it's all empty. And then we look good. Okay? So I'm going to change these numbers. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to go back up here. 1820. I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to close it. Whoops. Sorry. Wrong one. Okay. All right. So we're looking at the 1820 census. And it said there were 2 boys under the age of 10. That would be these 2 here, William and Caleb, and 2 girls under the age of 10. And since Lavina here died as a child, she would not be there. So the 2 girls would be Gunilda and Alzina. Okay? Then we had 2 boys that were below 16, which would be Moses and Abraham. We had 2 girls under 16, which would be Lucretia and Anne. So the other lady who's over 26, I don't know who she is. But she is counted as part of the family, so that's probably a sister or something like that. Who knows? But at least we know that looking at the 1820 census and based on our children here, we can say we got the right people. So we're going to go in here now and add the notes to everybody else. Okay. Again, we don't need all this other stuff. She's still there. One thing I didn't do was show you this, which is important. Okay, now that we are added more stuff here, I've got to change these numbers. Now, you know, I've talked about how we space out these note numbers, and I said, you know, to put a space first, and then 2 spaces after the dot, kind of to line things up. But there's a really important reason why I do that. And this was going to be, I'm going to show you the reason why right here. So as we keep increasing these numbers, because we find more information and we want to keep them in chronological order. Okay, look at this one. 9 is already there. So I need 10. Okay, so that's what this extra space is. Okay, so I can take out the 9 and the space, and I can put in 10. Let's see how that throws this off. So, and again, remember about spatial texting that I talked about at the very first. Take that one out. So that's kind of why I leave that space in the front and the 2 spaces after the period, so that if you get more than 9 notes, then you can still line things up correctly. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these children and put in their notes for you, but I did want to put in those couple so that you can see a couple of the reasons why I've done things the way I have. So the next one will be the 1830 census.